Hi guys, and welcome back to my channel. Today I'm going to be giving you the top 4 facts on teaching methods plus a bonus fact that every teacher needs to know, and why knowing these facts are super important in helping you be a more effective teacher. Now, if you're new to my channel, I'm super excited that you're here. My channel is dedicated to being a guide to transformative global education to teachers everywhere. So definitely click that subscribe button down below and follow me so that you can continue to get great content that will help you in your teaching career. Being able to understand these important facts and why they're super important helps you as a teacher be able to view your resources and your teaching tools in a different manner and be able to understand that you don't always have to reinvent the wheel in order to help your students succeed. So without further ado, let's go on to these top 4 facts plus my bonus fact. Here we go. Fact number 1, the old ways aren't outdated. Now, I know every year there is a new tool or a new strategy or a new resource that comes out to help students be more successful in the classroom and to help teachers be more effective. But it's always important as a teacher to keep in mind that the old tools and the old resources and the old ways of doing things are not outdated and are still very effective within the classroom. For example, things like those 1-hour videos that we used to watch on biology, or maybe those songs that we always used to sing in middle school or in kindergarten, or even those big projects that we had to do. Those are still being used in the classroom, and they are not new things. Those long 1-hour long videos that were used in the classroom are now transformed into maybe just short 15-minute interactive videos that still teach the same concepts. Those songs are still being reinvented or given new tunes or given new titles, but are still giving the same information. And those projects, we still use them in the classroom. So don't think that the old tools of the past or things that were used in previous years are irrelevant or outdated. They are still very effective and they are still very useful within the classroom, and I promise that they definitely help our students succeed. Fact number 2, activities reinforce information. Now, as a new teacher, it was definitely hard for me to understand this concept at the beginning stages of my career. But then, being able to understand that activities reinforce information helped me to realize that as a teacher, I'm giving the structure of the information, and my activities help my students be able to practice that information and thoroughly understand the information using different outlets. Now, as a teacher, it is super important to understand this fact about teaching methods because it can be very easy to misunderstand what activities do within the classroom, and it can be very easy to give our students busy work when we can be giving them activities that actually reinforce the information that we're trying to show them or that we're trying to give to them. So being able to understand that activities reinforce information and not teach it exactly help our students be more successful in the classroom. Now, there are definitely gray areas in which some activities actually teach the information that we need to give our students, but that doesn't mean that we need to sit back and let the activities do the work. We still need to be present, and we still need to be that anchor for our students in case some of us or some of them don't understand exactly what is going on, and we can then explain to them what they are trying to learn and how this activity helps them do that. So always remember that activities reinforce information and not necessarily teach it. Fact number 3, differentiated instruction should be well integrated within the classroom. Now, in order to properly explain this fact, I brought out a simple diagram right here on my screen so that you can be able to see as I am going along. Now, it is super important as a teacher that you understand what differentiated instruction is and how to implement it within the classroom. Now, looking at our diagram, you will see that there are 3 important factors that we need to consider within our students as we differentiate our instruction. What are our students' interests? What are their readiness levels of the information that we're about to give them? And what are their learning profiles? Now, I will be touching upon learning profiles in Fact 4 a lot deeper, but right now, we're just going to continue on as learning profiles are learning styles. So those 3 things: what are my students' interests? What are their readiness levels of this information I'm about to give them? And what are their learning profiles? Now, as a teacher, I'm going to be able to realize how to differentiate my instruction within the classroom. I'm going to be able to think, what is my content? What process do I want to use in teaching this content? and what product do I want to receive at the end of this lesson. As soon as I figure those out, I'm able to differentiate my instruction from my students in effective ways. Now, I'm going to give you an example of how this works. Let's say I have a room full of 5th graders who I'm going to teach how to use a dictionary in proper ways. Now, I first have to figure out what are the interests of my 5th graders. In my perspective, a lot of 5th graders are super interested or invested in technology, so that's a good thing to keep in mind. Now, what are my readiness levels of my 5th graders? Have they ever been exposed to a dictionary before? Have they ever used one before? Have they ever been taught how to use one before? Then, I keep in mind, what are the learning profiles of my students? What are their learning styles? And how can I implement this within my lesson plan? Once I understand these 3 factors, I'm able to structure my lesson plan in a way that is most effective to all of my students. Now, what is my content? I'm trying to teach them how to use a dictionary, so I'm going to include their interests in this category. I'm going to teach my students what a physical dictionary is and how they can find a dictionary in a digital platform. That way, I'm showing my students that they can find a dictionary in more than one place. Next, I'm going to show them how to use a dictionary. I'm going to first show them how to use a physical dictionary and what are the exact tools on a physical dictionary that they need to watch out for. Then, I'm going to expose them to a digital dictionary and what it looks like on a digital platform and how those same tools are still implemented but just in different ways. After I've been able to show them the process of using a dictionary and watch them practice it along with me, I can then finally head to my product. Now, within my product, I can definitely pick a variety of things that I wish to receive out of all of this lesson. Now, I can either ask my students to look up a bunch of words, or because they're in 5th grade, I can ask them to look up a bunch of words, but instead of just looking up the meanings or the spellings of the words, I can ask them to look up the parts of speech of the words and what parts of speech are really reinforced about those words. Now, you can expand this to however many lengths that you want as a teacher, but you have to remember that your main purpose for this lesson plan was to teach your students how to use a dictionary. And by the end of this lesson plan, you as a teacher will be fully confident in knowing that your students know how to use a dictionary on a physical platform or on a digital platform, and they definitely don't need your help to do it. Fact number 4, incorporate different learning styles in appropriate ways. Now, as I said previously, learning profiles are basically learning styles that students have, and there are 4 of them. As a teacher, it is super important to know what these 4 learning styles are and how to implement them within your classroom. These 4 learning styles are the visual, the auditory, the linguistic, and the physical, which is commonly known as kinesthetic. Knowing these 4 learning styles will help you as a teacher be able to vet your lesson plans and be able to realize what learning style goes best with my lesson plan in order to help my students succeed the most. For example, you can think of a topic or you can think of a subject area and be able to compare and contrast and say, would it be better for them to learn this through listening to something, or would it be a more visual effect? Would it be better for my students to be able to work on this task or this activity using their hands and be able to learn the concepts more effectively? Or is it something that they need to talk about in groups and be able to listen to me talk about for a little bit? It is your job as a teacher to be able to realize what your students need and how you can use these learning styles to reach their needs. Now, if you reach this part of my video, you'll realize that I said I had one bonus fact to give you, and I'm super excited to give it to you. And I wanted to let you know that I have a question for y'all. What top facts about teaching methods do you think teachers should know that you've experienced personally but weren't mentioned in this video? Definitely comment down in the comment section below, and you'll also find my question there. But I'm excited to hear what you guys think, and I'm excited to share this platform with y'all because I think it is super important to share information as educators so that we can continuously grow together and build a more transformative education globally. Now, on to my 5th and final fact. Teaching methods always promotes a combination of participation, demonstration, memorization, and recitation. As a teacher, it is super important to know that your lesson plan needs to incorporate all of these 4 things in order for it to be successful. Now, I know in the teaching atmosphere that recitation or memorization kind of has a little bit of a bad rep considering all of the testing that is being done these days, but that doesn't mean that these two things are necessarily bad in themselves. In fact, they are very helpful tools that students need to learn how to use in order for them to be successful as they go higher in their education and as they get into their career paths. As a teacher, it is our job to be able to build this platform that incorporates these four things within our lessons so that our students are well-rounded and have a better chance at being successful with anything that they do and in any category of education that they reach. This means that we always have to be very careful to implement participation, to implement demonstration, to implement recitation and memorization within our lesson plans and in very effective ways. So these are the top 5 facts about teaching methods that every teacher should know and why they are super important to keep them in mind. I'm super excited to share this information with y'all, and I hope that you found this content very relatable, very useful, and very helpful as you prepare yourself for the next teaching year. Until my next video, have a great day, have fun teaching, and I'll see you next time. Today, I'm going to be giving you the top 4. What? Am I giving you what? What? Oh. Differentiated. Huh. Why? Why? Differentiated. Differentiated? Oh, no. Almost got it. Differentiated. Huh. Why can't I say this word? Huh. God. Now, in order to properly explain this fact, I had to bring out a... God, why? Oh, God. Differentiated instruction should be well implemented